Hi, this is Carol at Lacey's Creations here in Nangwarry, South Australia. Well, if you're watching this, then you've still stuck by me. I haven't been on for quite a few weeks. As most of you know, I went to Adelaide for 3 weeks and had 3 weeks worth of radiation, and since I've been home, I've been a bit flat. So it's taken me a while to get my craft act back together, but here I am. So I'm going to do a haul video. On my way home from Adelaide, I stopped in a gorgeous little town called Murrybridge, and there was at least half a dozen OpShops there. But I ended up at one in an old church building, and there were some lovely ladies there. And it's mostly a lace haul video, but there's a few little knickknacks. So first of all, the Christmas stuff. When you walked into this big hallway, there was a big trestle table full of Christmas stuff, and it was all free. They had so much stuff that they were just giving it away. So this lovely little Christmas cloak, I thought the material was gorgeous and would make a beautiful Christmas journal cover. I'm too late now to make a Christmas journal, but I'll probably make one for next year and just store it away. A few little ornamental things, earrings and things that I thought I could put on the cover maybe. I didn't get too much because I actually have got a big Christmas box. I love these old vintage cards though. And there's a few of them there. Packet of 6 for $1. And that's a lovely little one. Maybe that one looks like it's been handmade. So there were those. And then I don't know what's in here. I haven't. As I said, I've been on a bit of a hiatus. I just threw all this stuff on the floor in my room when I got home, and it's taken me right till now to get motivated to get in here and sort it out. So these are just some red wire ribbons, which, you know, they're always handy on covers and things. Put them all over there in that box. These look like more cards, but when you go into these old church op shops, I always find they have more vintage stuff than the shop ones. The shops, they get so much stuff that they're under a lot of pressure to throw a lot of it away. They don't seem to like keeping vintage things. So these are just more cards, but they're quite vintagey. Oh, that's a lovely one, isn't it? It's a nice one. Yeah, there's lots here, so you've all seen Christmas cards. It's a nice one. I've got so much Christmas stuff, I should have made 10 Christmas journals. But you know, as I said, I haven't made one. But it'll all store for next year. That's a nice little bag, which is, they're good for making tags. It will all store away for another year. And then I've got a bag full of paintbrushes for 50 cents. Everything in this place was really super cheap. And these are paper binders for manila folders. They're fairly vintage, I think. And look at that, 50 cents. But I think I only paid $1.50 for this whole box of tricks in here. These are the little washers that go on the clips. And these are the small paper clips, so they'll be handy. I might have to colour them, but they're a good size. So they're handy. And then a box of these, what are these called? Anko clips. For manila folders as well, Arnos clips. So you know, a lot of these things are old because if they've got manufactured in Australia on them, you know, Australia stopped doing a lot of manufacturing years ago. So which brings me to this drawer liners. These were $1, and these were made in Australia, so they must be quite old too, because you know, we just haven't had a lot of paper manufacturing going on in Australia for a long time. Oh, they smell nice. Still don't even know they're old. Let's pull that off there. I'll make some nice pages. There's 5 of them there. So that's a pretty very good size. You fold them up, make journal pages out of them, or even a journal cover. Lovely. That's that. And the other rare find that I got was this beautiful wallpaper. That's $4, but everything was half price, so I think I would have paid $2 for it. But isn't that a lovely colour? No, I would assume it's vintage because if you look at the patina on the back, it's quite yellowed on the edges. It's a nice feel, and it's paper. It's not hasn't got the gum on it, so I would say it's at least from the 70s, maybe. But yeah, I really like the colour of that, and it looks like nearly a full roll, so there's a lot of it. I'll be able to cut that up and send it off in the mail. And then this was my treasure. Paper recycling kit. So when I was in Adelaide, I actually got to visit Nat Williams from Paper Possibilities, and we were talking about paper, making paper, and I said, I must get Michael to make me a frame when I get home with some fly wire, so I could start making recycled paper. And then, blow me down, go into the shop, and here's the whole kit. And it was $10, but I got it for $5. So someone's obviously used it and made paper. These are the boards that you use for drying the paper on. There's quite a few of those. And then the all-important frame. For straining your paper out onto. And I guess there's some instructions in there. Oh, what are these? Haven't had it open. Paper Projects pattern sheets. So it tells you what to do. Using the decal dividers, making your watermark. So that's interesting. It was a really lucky find, that one. Enjoy using the soap making kit. I must be advertising for something else. So yeah, I was really happy with that. Pretty cheap for $5. And these boards will be really handy for drying the paper on. Nice little Christmas present to myself now. So mostly this is going to be a lace haul because I got so much lace. This is that old cotton lace. And there's a couple of different patterns of it. Fair bit of that. And I've sort of stopped buying sewing patterns because I've got so many, but this one took my eye, so I took that. I think I paid 50 cents for it or something. And this little book, I only buy books if I really like the pictures of them. This has got some quite nice vintage looking pictures in it, so I quite like that. Thought it was worth getting. There's those two. And then the lace. So I got, Michael actually found these under the bottom shelf in the shop. And he said, oh look, there's lace under there. And we pulled it out, and the lady came along and she said, oh yes, she said, I've been putting it down underneath because we've had so much. And these were $2 a bag. And you think, well, there's only scrappy bits in there, which I don't normally buy. But then when I got in the car and I started tipping it out and going through it, there's actually some really big pieces in here. So this one here says 12 metres. So $2 for this whole bag full works out really cheap. And you can tell by some of them how vintage they feel. You know, that's a lovely one. Lovely pink. I don't really go for the bright colours in lace. I like light neutral colours. It's a bit of broadway on glaze that's been cut off something. Feels very vintagey. So there's just lots. Lots and lots and lots. That's just one bag. Look at this blue. Bit bright for me really. But I might be able to sort of bleach it or something and get it coloured down a bit. Toned down. Yeah. Lots in here. So that's a big job to wind all that up. And this is like an embroidered. I remember Mum putting sort of bits like this on the bottom of our dresses or blouses. So I think that's quite old. And then we've got a mountain of lace. There's another bag. Look, I won't pull it all out because you've all seen lace. But you can just see there's a lot in there. And this one, I like the colours in this bag actually. There's some nice ones in there. My favourite is the broad round glaze. And it's getting harder and harder to get, so even if I get a little piece I'm happy because I can make pockets with it. That looks like it's got a few metres on it. So there's all that and all that. Look at that blue there, there's a lot of lace in that. That's quite nice and light. I like the lighter colours. Right, there's that. Now what am I going to do with all this? I'll just drop it on the floor. I'll drop it on the floor so I can get to the cards. So then there were these cards which bolts. So these were all $1 each. And she the lady said, "Oh, I'll have to charge you $1 for those," because the bags were $2 each. And I said, "Oh no, that's reasonable." And these are definitely vintage, definitely vintage. You can just feel it. I probably won't use that one. Look at that! Isn't that lovely? These, I don't know. I probably wouldn't order that if I saw it somewhere, but I think they'll go quite good in a boho journal. I did make a boho journal, oh gosh, at least 3 years ago. There's a video of it on my YouTube. And those sort of colours go nice in a boho journal, a gypsy journal. Isn't that nice? That's very vintage looking. So yeah, I was really lucky with this find. I think it was a nice find. And thanks to my husband, he found all the lace while I was going through the books. These are old pieces as well. So like I said, it's mostly a lace haul. These ones, this was 8 metres. It says $4, but I think I only paid 50 cents or $1 for it because I know everything I got was really cheap. Actually, when I got up to the counter, including that paper maker, I only spent about $25. Nice little piece of vintage material there, which would be nice in a botanical journal. Quite like the colours of that. Piece of bias binding. And these are a little jar of beads. I've got lots of beads, but it's hard to find little beads that your needle will actually fit through. So these holes look quite big, and that's the reason. And china or glass, they're not plastic. So that's the reason I got those, and that was $1. That's pretty cheap. That doesn't look vintage, but it's still quite nice. Probably be nice in a botanical journal. These, who knows what these were. Someone's gone to the trouble of cutting up these letters. They're only paper, but little paper tiles. And then this was a, like I said, I just dumped all this stuff on the floor in my room and I haven't been into it. This was $3. And it looks like it's got a few bits and pieces in it. Oh, sellotaped. So these are pretty vintage looking needles and pins. Just someone's odds and sods. That's vintage looking. I'd use those in a sewing journal. A few buttons. Oh, look at these little cards in here. They're quite cute. So I hope you're all well. And like I said, I've been away for a few weeks. So thanks for sticking by me and coming back for a little look. And I've joined Valita Reynolds. I've joined her OpShop haul video Facebook group. So I'll probably put this on here more later. On these cards, I don't exactly know what's in here, but I've got an idea for these. When I was in an antique shop in Adelaide, a lady had been making, with blank cards, had been collaging them with, you know, antique papers. So I've got those beautiful newspapers that I bought when I was with Nat. Oh, these are just the envelopes. They're actually not cards, but I have got plenty of cards. These are all envelopes. So I got these for 50 cents, so that's alright. I thought there were cards in there. That's a bit disappointing. But anyway, yeah, collaging the blank cards and making them into themes, you know, like sewing or Christmas or whatever, and selling them like that. So I thought I might give that a go. Those are quite nice and they feel good. They feel very vintage and they've got a bit of a patina to them. So they'll be nice in a journal. And that's about all really. It's not very interesting, I don't suppose, but just lots of lace if you love lace, like I do. Yeah, I have to love lace. My name's Lacey. I love the colour of that one, see? I love these, that says 2.5 metres. I love these very paisley, pale colours. Oh, that's very pretty. See on the page? Nice. Nice and pale. Oh, you have to excuse my nails. I've been in the garden. Not supposed to be out in the sun till the end of January, the oncologist said, but when I got home, my garden was so overgrown, so I just do little bits in there. Okay, well, thanks very much, and I hope to have something a bit more interesting in the near future. I'll have to whip up something to film. Okay, thanks very much.